offer and stepped into the shop. I was greeted with rows upon rows of televisions sitting on shelves throughout the room. The shop operated on Toonish laws of physics. That is, it was far bigger on the inside than it was outside. That's Doctor Who, you
It's a
morons.
TARDIS.
Exactly. I followed the little man through the rows of televisions. I know who you are, young one, the old man said. You possess a great power inside of you. The power of the dragon, I think? You are one of the few to possess such power. I guess you've seen me in the papers? I asked curiously. I was one of the trio that fought with Bleeko above the city. Oh yes, I read about that. You took a terrible risk for your brothers. You almost died. Why? Paused and looked at me. uh, well, they're my brothers, sir. I would die for them. The old man continued to stare for a
Good.
moment and then pulled apart a beaded curtain at the back of the shop, hidden in the shadows. I can sense much foolishness in you. You're here on a most dangerous mission. Yes, look, who are you? Wise old man or not? I needed to know. He smiled. You may call me Master Sohi. There was a time long ago when that dragon that resides in your head was once the guest here in my shop. Oh, I was never a chosen one. I never had your abilities, but still he chose to stay here and keep an old man company. I could feel a brief lightning in my head, and the jade dragon flew out in a flash. He floated in the air between us with such a sparkling light that I had to blink back tears. Master Master Sohi, it is good to see you again, my old friend. The words did not come from his mouth, but rather drifted into our heads as usual. Long before I came to know you, I resided here. The dragon's eye was in this brave soul's possession. I came to know him unlike any other being before, and I came to know him as a friend. And through the millennia, we enjoyed many a happy hour, didn't we, Jady? Master Sohi beamed at the jade dragon. Hold on a second, millennia. How old are you, Master Sohi? I asked in disbelief. The old man The old man thought for a moment. Well, being a tune, I was drawn by. Let's see. It's been so long. Ah, yes. I was drawn by a peculiar fellow wearing big, thick furs. He never did say his name. The moment I popped out of the cave wall, he ran away in fright. Cave? Wait, you were really drawn by a caveman? But you must be really, really old. I held my head. I didn't think even tunes could be that old. I didn't think tunes existed back then. Master Sohi looked scornfully at me. Didn't anyone ever tell you that it's rude to comment on someone's age? Please excuse my current master. What he lacks in brains, he makes up for in. Nah, I got nothing. In loyalty and kindness, the Jade Dragon said. Thank you. Hey, was that a burn? I could swear the dragon smirked at me. I learned from the best. now then, to business, Master Sohi opened a small side cabinet and brought out a small, transparent blue crystal ball. He set it on a small table in the center of the room. I know that you need help, but possibly not the help you think you need. Your brothers are frantic with worry about you. The orb in the center of the table began to glow, and I could see my brothers on the inside searching frantically for me. My guilt grew even larger at this, but my mission was important. I couldn't let them get hurt. If you still wish to know the location of your enemy, I will tell you, Master Sohi said. But I warn you, it will not be easy. The image in the orb changed once more to the outside of a cave. Snow bellowed all around it in a terrible blizzard. The inside of the cave was inky black. The darkness was thicker than that, though. I could feel a sickening, grotesque darkness emanating from out of its core. This was where Bleeko was hiding. They're in there, aren't they? The kidnapped tunes. Bleeko's waiting in there, feeding on them, growing stronger. You cannot beat Bleeko by yourself, the Jade Dragon's voice echoed. Also the capitalization, man. Or not. You must learn that while you are brave and courageous, your strength lies in your brothers. I know that, dragon, but I still don't want to see them put in danger. I want to do this myself. If you fight him alone, you will die. Remember what happened last time. Then I won't fight him alone, I promise. This is a search and rescue mission. Master Sohi, where is that cave located? There are certain dimensions that only toons may access. Some are far and distant from one another, while others are close together and feed off one another, like leeches. Okay. It was in one of these pocket worlds that Blinko's cave was hidden. He could not risk being discovered by Blinko or his brothers before he had climaxed his power. He could not risk being discovered by Blinko or his brothers before he had climaxed his power. Therefore, you must imagine that the bewildering sight that greeted Theodore and Toby as they stared out of the cave. 10 feet in every direction, an incredible blizzard swirled around them and the cave. Beyond that, nothing. Nothing but space and the twinkling of distant stars. Toby shivered and Theodore put an arm around him. I told you we really couldn't escape, Toby cried. Look, there's no way out, only the snow, and then nothing. We are finished. Chapter 9. Power, the plague of all creatures, large and small, strong and weak, intelligent or not. It is the bane of being alive and sentient, because power is like a drug. The more you get, the more you want. And if someone with more power takes it away from you, you'll do anything to get it back. Things you'd never do when sane. Horrible and unthinkable things that you would say were below you in idle conversation. You'll do anything for that moment of superiority, that feeling of absolute authority over a lesser being, and those who control power will manipulate those that want it. Thus, they will control all of us. Bliko's eyes snapped open in his pod. He could feel the retreating life forces of the escaped toons. He had been mentally tracking them ever since the traitor Rancor released them. Oh yes, he knew about that. He knew, and would make no mistake. Rancor would pay. Last time he had taken an arm from the traitor. This time he would take his life. The only reason that he chose not to chase after his young toon guests was because he knew that they would never escape. Even if they somehow found their way out of his cave, they would still be trapped within this world, forever chained to his dominance. Only the power of one as strong as him could hope to tear a hole in which they could escape through, and that meant Blinko. For none but Blinko could ever hope to reach his power. The toons were his, and his alone, his to feast on their energy, his to envelope them.
Oh my gosh.
Gromp. The tunes were his, and his alone. I'm gonna whisper sweet nothings in your ear, Swindle Chopper.
His to doom them. He would go and collect them momentarily. For now, he shut his eyes and let his mind wander back into darkness. I think Brad is not going to be too keen on darkness after this.
Like, oh no, he can't ruin darkness. I'll ruin him.
I stared into Master Sohi's orb as two frail shapes stumbled out of the cave. They looked around in fright and they fell on each other in tears. You must pull them out of that monster's world, Master Sohi said with a frown. They are young ones. Their fate would be most terrible if you left them there. They would be fodder for Bliko's power. All right, I'm ready. I pumped my chest up impressively. Tell me where it is so I can be heroic. You can't get in, said Master Sohi. You don't have enough strength of body or heart. My chest deflated, and I gave him a pained look. Not enough strength of body and heart, but I'm Dragon Boy. I'm super awesome. So he shook his head. And it is exactly that attitude that keeps you from attaining your potential. Would your brothers act that way? Well, no. Well, no, they'd act humble. Maybe that's what I truly lack, humility. I looked down at the floor, embarrassed. It's just In my old life, before I attained this power, I never had a reason to brag. I'd never said or done anything worthwhile to anyone. I was a nothing, lavishing in my own worthlessness. Hang on. Oh, gosh. Bruce wrote down. Yes. Oh, Derp works too. And now I have the ability to truly do something to help people. It's been a lot to take in. I do apologize if I seem to have a big head. I really don't. I'm still adjusting. So he poured a cup of strange liquid into a teacup and handed it to me. One must always temper his abilities with passiveness, lest their arrogance grow too large. A cup of tea helps too. He handed the cup of liquid to me. It smelled wonderful. I had never really been a tea drinker before, but this I brought to my lips and sipped thoughtfully. My eyes crossed and my mouth spread wide into a grin as I blacked out onto the floor. I woke to a light slapping in my face. Blurry shapes appeared to be
Yay.
leaning over me. As my eyes cleared, I realized that I was still in Master Sohi's shop. Blinko and Mike were standing over me. Ugh, from the looks on their faces, I knew what was coming. Look, guys, just spare me the lecture. I know what you're going to say. Do you now? Blinko frowned. Do you know how worried we were? When Dell told us what you were planning, we thought the worst. Blinko is too dangerous to fight alone. Insert classic self-awareness. Master Sohi sat atop a laundry basket in the corner with his legs crossed. Random. I do apologize for calling your brothers Dragon Master and for drugging your tea, but it was a necessary thing. I climbed to my feet. All right, well, now that you're here, maybe you can help. I pointed at the orb in the center of the room with the young tunes shivering inside. Master says that only someone with enough strength and heart will be able to break them out. I can't. So he looked up from his meditation. But Blinko can. Yeah, of course. Blinko looked at him. I can? But how? Blinko's eyes shot back open. Something was happening. He could feel it. Blinko was near. That cursed twin of his. How he longed to rip him apart piece by piece. What? He howled as he saw through his mind's eye. A hole slowly began ripping the space in front of his cave. Something was boring in, trespassing and entering his private world. As he watched mentally, Blinko pushed his way in and stepped right in front of his two escaped victims. I won't allow this. I swear. You will die. He smashed through his pod and charged in their direction, with a mad bloodlust crashing through cave walls like tissue paper. On the outside, Blinko heard loud crashes and Blinko's furious howls coming toward them from inside the cave. Quickly, he stepped in front of Theodore and Toby. I won't let you hurt them, Blinko. This is between you and me, not them. If you wish to take them, you must go through me. He stood firm as Blinko smashed into him. Meanwhile, in Sohi's shop, we were staring around in confusion. 1 minute, Blinko was standing in front of us, and the next he was gone, vanished like smoke. All Master Sohi had done was whisper a single word into Blinko's ear, and he had disappeared. What did you say to him? I asked with concern. Where did he go? Master Sohi closed his eyes and took a deep breath. I only told him what needed to be said in order to enter Blinko's world. It is a far, split-off dimension where Blinko resides, a world of his own creation, full of madness and hate, and the parking is terrible. So why did you send? I had barely gotten the words out of my mouth when two small toonlings materialized in the air above me and knocked me to the floor. What the devil? Theodore and Toby looked around in confusion. Blinko tossed them as hard as he could to get them out of harm's way. It was only by luck that Blinko hadn't caught them. The young mouse and kitten toonling stood up as I climbed to my feet. Where on earth did you two come from? And where is Blinko? Theodore squeaked and looked worried. We came from Blinko's place. It was terrible. We were almost killed by that monster. But then he showed up. He? You mean Blinko? It's all right. You can tell us. Is that his name? Blinko? He appeared out of nowhere and shielded us from Blinko. Toby punched the air in front of him. He gave him a right hook and a left. Then he threw us and we were here. Uh, you're the missing tubes, I said breathlessly. The ones that vanished from Ink City. It's like I'm into it now. It's like I was before, but it's like now I have to kind of like get into it or I won't be able to read the rest of this jank. I said breathlessly. The ones that vanished from Ink City. I knew Bleeko was behind this, Theodore sniffed. Yeah, we're the only ones left. Bleeko, he devoured them all. Yeah, from what I understand, he devoured like one squirrel dad. And that's all.
Yay.
I looked at him disgusted. He ate them? He ate all of the other captured tombs? That's horrible. I felt sick to my stomach at this news, picturing a lookalike of Blinko cannibalizing his peers. Well, he didn't eat them exactly. He just put a hand on them and then Theodore couldn't bring himself to finish the dreadful sentence. It's okay, Theo. Toby put an arm around him. Don't say it. Mike turned to look at Master Sohi. We have to go and help Blinko. Send us wherever it was that you sent him. I am sorry, but it just can't be done. So he climbed onto an exercise bike and pedaled as he talked. Either Blinko or Blinko's power is needed to access that place. Without it, you would have more luck trying to break into Fort Knox with only a screwdriver and a rubber band. MacGyver would like to call your bullshit on that. Power crackled around Blinko and Blinko as they stared each other down. Yes, you should. If each one of you donates like 5, I think that'll do it, right? You can't win, you know, Blinko said smugly. You're living in a state of delusion. All things crumble before the power of evil. We are one and the same, yin and yang, complete polar opposites, and yet the same being. The only true difference between us is I chose to build a life of destruction and cement my power. You chose to dedicate your life to helping people. Bah! People are worthless. They betray you without a second thought. Take my soon-to-be-dead minion Rancor, for instance. I had barely done with anything to him, nearly ripped his arm from its socket with my bare hand, and he chose to free my little guests. You sick freak, how could you do that to anyone, especially your own follower? This ends now. I won't allow you to continue terrorizing the world. Blinko's eyes. Blinko's eyes shined with a gleam of bravery. You began with me, and so you shall end. That's what you think, brother! Blinko dashed at Blinko with murderous intent. Before Blinko could react, Blinko had plowed his fist into his stomach. Blinko cried out in pain and turned to face the villain as he ran around behind him. But suddenly, Blinko wasn't there anymore. Blinko looked around in annoyance. Where did you go? Show yourself, coward, and I promise that your death will be slow and vile. Above ya, dum-dum, Blinko called out from his perch on top of Blinko's head. What the? With a thunderous clang, Blinko dropped a heavy metal anvil on top of Blinko's head. You know, you can't really. I'm going to go in Cosby again, coming full circle. But you know, you can't really go from all this murder and blood and horrible and killing the tunes and then be like, oh, now it's a cartoon. I'm dropping anvils on you. What's he gonna do? A piano next? Well, he plays Tchaikovsky or something. Kevin, probably. Oops, so sorry. How clumsy of me. Blinko landed on the ground a few feet from Blinko. I meant to drop a bus. Like the short one that the author rides. The anvil had not really caused any physical damage. Any physical damage to Blinko, but his pride had been injured. Blinko was making him look like a fool, and this he couldn't stand. Enough games, Blinko snarled. I've had enough of you. Darkness bringer! A dark flash of negative energy erupted from his hands. It was the embodiment of every terrible thing Blinko stood for. His hate and malevolence screamed toward Blinko. Darkness breaker! Blinko screamed as his own bright white light erupted from his body. The two energies clashed together, each one fighting for dominance. One moment it seemed as if Blinko would overpower Blinko. And the next moment, the tables and flipped.
Oh my gosh.
Blinko was powerless as Blinko's own chaotic energy exploded around him, enveloping him and searing his flesh. Went from anvils to searing flesh. Okay. Blinko was blinded by the white-hot light of Blinko's darkness breaker. His flesh was torn from his body, and he screamed as he was reduced to particles. Then it was over. With one move, Blinko's body had been eradicated. Wait.
What?
Is this the climax? Breathing heavily, Blinko fell to the ground, unconscious as Blinko's world began destroying itself. Oh, goody! We have another poem!
Poem time!
Where has the hero gone? Once he flew with the greatest of ease. Now it seems he's gone away on a breeze. We need him now more than ever. His bravery and justice seems gone forever. Where has the hero gone? The world is in such an awful shape. We need a brave soul and a cape. No capes. A figure to stand for what is right. A creature to fight the good fight. Isn't that something? Never mind. Where has the hero gone? When the planet is in such turmoil, he should appear. But no brave soul shows up in the night. No gallant nor heroic being to make things right. Where has the hero gone? He seems to have vanished into thin air, and criminals rule without a care. But his brave voice will echo throughout time, chiming out a beautiful rhyme. Where has the hero gone? As long as I keep my hero in my heart, I know his soul will never part. My one true friend, my mentor too, I miss him greatly, that I do. Chapter 10.
No, not today.
Okay. We're almost there, but okay. We only have, this is 124, 202. Wait, 202. Wait, what? Oh. Okay, maybe. Did I read that wrong? Okay, where did I get 208 from? It's, but it's, let's see, 124, 202. Hang on, brain. Yeah. We only have 78 pages left.
Fantastic. And that's about how much we got through today. So another day of this, and we'll be done with this horrid piece of trash.
Okay, I guess that's probably enough.
Oh. Alright, thank you to everybody for joining us for today's lovely stream.
Thank you, Evan, for all the lovely... Hail, Evan, King of the Shoops!
King of the Shoop, Evan. Of course, thank you to our lovely reader, Stephanie, for bringing us all the good times that we will definitely not off ourselves for later tonight. We're contractually obligated to come back alive next time, so...
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, it is shorter than Magic Bracelet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. For all we did today, we probably would have done like one chapter of Magic Bracelet.
I know. Anyway, you guys are awesome, and thanks for somehow sticking through all this.
Yeah, thanks to everybody for watching. I'm done. I don't feel like gaming after all that, but we'll come back. We'll come back tomorrow or something for maybe more of this and then something else. Or I don't know when we'll next be around to read this. I don't know, when are we next reading this?
When are you? I have tomorrow off.
Okay, we're coming back tomorrow for more of this.
Okay.
I don't know what time. But
whenever's good for you, but yeah.
But we'll hopefully read some, and then maybe we'll game. If we're not gaming, we're finishing this crap so that I can game on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I'll see you all for that. So thanks to everybody for watching and listening. Thank you to Stephanie for reading. Thanks to Kate for no panya. And no, I'm just kidding. And we'll see you all next time for more Blood and Ink by I Don't Care Anymore.
Okay, boy.
Bye.
Boy!